How is the angelic realm doing?
Not so good. But they are getting their healing. That's why Uriel can't really talk right now. And neither can Michael.
Just as the guide realm, when they were difficulty, they needed their healing. So
Yes.
the angelic realm, they all need their healings.
And cleansing.
And cleansing and the healing, yes.
Yes. So he's not really able to connect and talk right now.
That is fine. How is the dealing with the spores thing going?
We're working on a plan. And it's in the early stages of the actual doing of it. Like the plan is just ending and we're moving into the actual implication of it.
How are you doing?
A little tired.
Okay.
A little bit of the Great Mother's coming in here. That's why it sounds a little feminine at times.
That's fine. The Great Mother is very good at communicating in a... She's got a little more experience at communicating, and she's a little easier and smoother.
Yes, so we're sort of both talk. That's why there's every once in a while a hint of feminine. Or the voice changes
just a little bit. Because you work so well, interact so much together.
Things in the mandala are flowing more smoothly now. The dragons have gotten involved. It had gotten a little choppy in their movement. So things are flowing a lot more smoothly now.
Well, sometimes someone from outside of it, something can see it more clearly and understand it more clearly.
It's been a bit off for about a week. Because that's when the spores got in them. About a week ago.
But that is being
dealt with,
and they'll be fine. Just like when the guide realms had their trauma and healing.
Yes.
You have to let them get there, then you'll know how they are, how they're feeling, and then they can build off from that.
Yes.
So at this particular point, there's no point in saying, well, what about this or what about that? We're in the early stages of figuring stuff out.
Yes.
For this, and I understand that, and I am very, very, very glad that this was recognized before the God Haboob went any farther.
Now about that, ask a question. If the God Haboob has really started yet. Yes, it has. But it's still very early on. So you haven't seen much of a change.
It's like if you were on a beach and the high tide was coming in and it was only up a few inches, you may not notice it because the waves are going back and forth at the time.
Exactly.
So you don't realize anything has really changed. Even in like half an hour, you may have very little realization unless you had put a marker out.
Exactly. We do that so not to shock other systems. You guys could handle it. But there are some out there who are still very fragile. And to hit them full on fast would break them.
And I think that once this contamination is dealt with,
it could probably move quicker.
Yes. And those who are doing the contaminated are not able to contaminate any more further.
Yes.
Then those who are trying to move in the light won't be having the problems.
Exactly.